today we are going to be talking to Taz and Brad about their World Superbike debuts in the paddock. Well, you've been in World Superbikes before, briefly, both of you. So, and whilst we're doing it, we're going to play the Isle of Man TT PlayStation game because it's the only way I can keep these two in a room for 5 minutes. Right, so Taz, crack on. You start loading it up. I'm going to talk.
I've got pressure now because Brad's just been practicing.
I'm not very good, Taz. What are you gone with?
I ain't picture. I've loaded it and just loaded the game.
You can tell we don't play games, can't you?
World Superbike debut. Talk me through. Firstly, people might want to know why we're not at the first 2 rounds.
So, yeah,
Hold the mic if you want.
just thought I'd have a couple of weekends off. No, just the way, I don't know what the reason is, but the team that I'm with is only doing the European rounds. I think a couple of other teams are the same as well. So unfortunately, I'll be missing the flyaways this year. So the 2 at the start of the year and the 1 at the end of the year. But yeah, even though I'm missing the Europeans, it's still a good opportunity for me to make the step into World Superbikes this year. So far, it's going really well. Obviously, the results for people out there aren't looking too great. Finishing outside the points and finally getting my first points on the board at Catalonia. But yeah, it's not easy jumping from BSB to World Superbikes. And obviously, the other teams have had a few more rounds of me and a few more tests. So we're slowly getting up to speed, which is nice. But yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Can I do the full course, by the way?
So, I explored the game yesterday with Danny Buchan, and there's lots of different tracks you can play. So there's 4 or 5 different tracks there. And there's also a free roam mode, so you can just roam about the island. The anchor's at the northwest, so you'll struggle to find that one there.
What's the one in Isle of Man?
Colours, the nightclub.
1986, isn't it? 18...
Courthouse.
1880s.
Courthouse.
Why do we know all the pubs and the nightclubs, but we don't know the circuit?
Is that...
That's the full one.
No, that's mountain.
The mountain course, yeah.
Is that correct?
60 kilometres, I'd say that must be. Yeah, 17 minutes, yeah. TT knowledge. 60k.
You could do that in 2 hours on a push bike, bro.
I wonder what the climbing is for that.
I think it said it a second ago.
Free practice, no. Qualified, no. 1 lap.
Morning weather conditions.
I reckon afternoon.
Should you throw a curveball in there? See what it says on
Does.
weather conditions.
Where's that?
It says clear at the minute.
Go morning.
Cloudy, oval.
Oh, wet.
They don't race in the rain, no, do they?
Clear.
Competitors 10. AI skill.
I think that's the skill level of your opponents, because it says it at the bottom there.
But 10%.
Starting method maths. Go to rider selection.
Which rider are you going to pick?
Well, should we go super sport so it's a little bit
Yeah,
easier? Davey's changed a lot since our photo.
He's got the mullet now.
I mean, I could go Davey because
Honda.
he's on Honda, so
You could have a look what a Honda.
I should probably go like that steady. Jamie Coward, Dom. Oh, my mate Lee.
Look how tall Lee is.
Yeah.
He looks massive.
There's Crowy with the balaclava on.
Crowy's just come from robbing a bank. Crowy is Lee's mechanic for people that don't know.
Connor Cummins. Dean Harrison's very serious there, isn't he? Gary Johnson. Hutchie.
That looks true.
That's my old mechanic Alistair's bike. Could go Hutchie. Let's go Hutchie because he's not racing this year, so I'm not sure.
A bit sketchy about him at the back there with a adjustable spanner doing the rear wheel.
It's like us 3 mechanicking.
Could use a torque wrench.
Oh my god! Oh, we jumped start.
Listen to that.
Oh. I feel like I need to commentate now. I'm not going to commentate. I'll let you concentrate.
Jesus
So-
Christ. Bike's fast.
Brad, what's...
His bikes are fast.
They are fast.
Come on, Lee, get out of the way.
What's been the biggest difference, Brad, between World Superbike and British Superbike for you?
Obviously, the first biggest difference is obviously the electronics that they run in World Superbikes, full electronics, which is not what we have in BSB. So that was obviously a massive thing to get my head over.
Are you sure? Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's so weird because as a rider, you always expect more. You expect to go there after what I'd sort of done in BSB last year. I expected to go there and maybe be a little bit further up than what I am. But realistically, you're racing against the best in the world, and it's going to take a little bit of time to find my feet and understand. Even though I've jumped from a Yamaha to a Yamaha, it's like completely different. The way the bike's set up, the way they sort of set everything up, the electronics, the chassis, the way you're braking, the way you're getting on the throttle, everything's so different. So I'm not a million miles away, but yeah, it's just a massive learning curve. But oh no, that is not ideal. Yeah, that was waiting to happen, I think. Do you know one thing about this? Hachi, they should do on this, if they know Hachi well, right hand gear shift.
That is true.
Because he's still shifting with his left foot.
I'm just nervous watching the tires.
Yeah, I can't concentrate. Sounds like it's got a seamless gearbox.
This sound quality is unreal for an R6, isn't it?
Yeah. Tell you what, they half do well with the graphics and everything on these games, don't they?
Have you done a full lap there?
No.
Going in back of the
This bit's...
Volkswagen Passat.
Oh my god.
I was just about to say this bit's fast.
Oh, it's flat, isn't
It's quite good fun on a 600.
it? I mean, the first part of the lap that I've done, it looks like I know the course until I crashed, but I really don't. I know off the start on Bray Hill.
Yeah, you were cheating. You've got the green lines on. I didn't have that on a minute ago. And you got braking markers.
Could do with him when we're racing.
Protesting.
One, Tarran, your World Superbike debut, been a little bit difficult for you so far, I'd say.
Yeah.
What's been the main, for people that don't know,
Oh, sorry. Ian.
that was, the crashes are quite violent.
Yeah, they are. If I'd known I was doing this to my friend Hutchie, I would have picked him. I mean, I'd have to pick someone, so.
Be careful where you go with that.
I don't dislike anyone, really.
I probably should have explained at the start of this video, for people that don't know what Taz and Brad are doing this year. Brad is racing in World Superbike for, what's the name of your team, Brad?
Moto X.
Moto X. Last year they had Tamburini, was it?
Tamburini, yeah.
This year Tarran is racing for the MIE Honda team in the World Supersport Championship on a Honda CBR 600. And it's been a little bit difficult so far. Talk me through your season so far. You had a very good start to the season in Phillip Island.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a new...
This is going to be funny watching you multitask here trying to speak.
I cannot multitask.
In fact, do you want to give the controllers to Brad?
No, I'm going to try and do it. I'm all about improving myself. Yeah. What do I do again? Yeah, it's been a little bit difficult. It's a new project for everyone with the Honda coming back into the championship. As we saw a minute ago in the gameplay, like picking the riders, Davey last year is the first person to pretty much race the new CBR 600. It's a little bit different to the old bike, and it was new to World Supersport this year, so the team I'm riding for, it's all a bit new for them. But unfortunately, with it being a new bike and no one else racing it in World Supersport, it's just lacked on parts, on preparation, because not from the team side, but just purely not getting parts in time and people having to make stuff and engines not being here in time, and it's no one's fault really, it's just time on our hands really. So if the bike we've got now, if we could have started with that in January, or they had that bike in the workshop in December, then we'd maybe be a little bit further forward. But it was unfortunately we couldn't, and that was the way it was. So we just had to crack on. So from first test I did, it was pretty much still very much a standard bike, and then we went to Phillip Island, pretty much the same, with a little upgrade with the exhaust and stuff. First race was really good in the rain. I started like second to last row because we were just struggling on top end and acceleration, but with it being in the rain, it was kind of a bit of a level playing field, and I just kind of told myself that it was time to just try and get a result and score some points. So I just gave it my best and ended up finishing 5th, which was a bit of a surprise because I wasn't really expecting that. So that was a great way to start the season. And then the first 2 rounds were probably actually okay. I struggled a little bit in Phillip Island in the dry. I didn't unfortunately get to do as much testing as I'd like to have done, like the other boys did at the start of the season. And then in Indonesia I scored 2 lots of points as well, which again wasn't great. Although I was in the points was good, but wasn't where we wanted to be. So we're hoping that for Assen there'll be some upgrades, and we did get upgrades, and then they weren't as what we thought they were going to be, or as good as we thought they would be. And then for Catalonia, again got some more upgrades, was a tiny bit better, but still just lacking. Not so much top end. Okay, top end would help, but when there's only a couple of straights on the track, it's not so bad. Sorry, Ian and Alistair, I'm writing his bike off. But it's more acceleration from corner to corner, and I really realised that in Assen. And so that's one thing that we're trying to improve for Misano, which is the next race. So the team have got some good ideas to try and help. As I said before, the bike, I've got a sweat on, the bike that Davey and I think Connor Cummins rides it as well in the TT in the Northwest, what Davey's just won on at the Northwest, that's effectively what I'm riding. Clive's helped a lot and kind of given us some of his knowledge to try and just fast forward the project a little bit more, but a bit quicker. But it's not quite as easy as that because we run different electronics and a few different components to Clive, just with keeping in the rules. So yeah, it's not been easy since we come back to Europe. I'm not saying it was easy at the start of the year because it wasn't, but it's definitely been more difficult as we come back to Europe, and I'm just hoping with a bit more time we can get some more upgrades and be a bit further up the grid. But from TV it doesn't look great, from the result sheet and on social media maybe it doesn't look great, but I'm really happy being in the paddock and the team's great and enjoying being there. And all I keep telling myself is when the results come, then it will be even more enjoyable. So I've just got to be patient at the moment and just keep working hard and yeah, stay motivated, and that'll, when it all comes good and the bike comes a bit better, then I'll have a bit better of a run. Long story short, it was a struggle, and it's still a bit of a struggle, but it'll get better hopefully.
It was funny, I was talking to Harry Truelove because I went to Barcelona to watch you. Harry Truelove races in British World Supersport as well. You've caught them back up. And I asked Harry what he thought of World Supersport. He said, yeah, I like it. It's just hard, isn't it?
Harry makes me laugh.
Yeah, I think that summed it up. Yeah. That it is good fun being there and racing on some of the world's best tracks, but it is just difficult. You're racing against the world's best.
Yeah, it's difficult. Harry's in a good team on a good bike, but it's difficult for Harry because it's all new to him really, because he's only ever ridden British Championship. I'm really fortunate I've done European stuff before, so some of the tracks I don't have to learn, but for Harry, he's got to take it all in, and yeah, it's a bit more difficult, but it's a big step, but I think he'll get better, and when he comes back to tracks like Donington and stuff like that, hopefully he'll be a bit stronger.
Yeah. Brad, you racing World Superbike. In the last season you raced in British Superbike. Obviously on a Sunday you just go home back to your own bed when you're racing in British Superbike. How is that different this year? I know you've purchased a new house.
Yeah, big house on wheels. Yeah, I think that for me was one thing I wanted to try and keep into. Look at the state of that. Oh my God. Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to keep, because obviously BSB, you go there, you have the same sort of camper all weekend, you stay in the same bed all weekend throughout the whole year. So that was one thing I wanted to try, and obviously doing Europeans only this year, I wanted to have something that I could have every weekend I went to, have my own pillow and bed and just somewhere to go back to in the day, because the team have got just like they've got obviously a race truck but no sort of big office for me to sit in and chill out and have some downtime.
I was doing good then.
You was miles behind.
I was just so good.
But yeah, I brought an little SC Sprinter van, which I just drive to each round. A little bit of a long drive to most of them, but yeah, at the minute it's parked up at Yamaha in Milan, which then I'll fly back to Milan airport, pick it up, drive to Misano, and then probably Monday morning after Misano, drive back to Milan, and then fly back home. And then for Donington, I think I'm just going to rent a motorhome and save me driving from Italy to Donington, and then back to Italy, because we've got Imola after Donington, so I've left it out in Italy, ready for that. But yeah, it's just different to BSB. Obviously, we've been the same with Taz. We've been in BSB for so many years now. You're just so used to doing the same sort of thing every weekend. When you get there, when you leave, things like that. So it's like a lot different being in World Championship, but it's nice to have a change and have a new challenge in World Superbikes.
Right, it's your turn now.
Is it my guy?
Yeah.
Who have I got?
I've picked the Blade. Michael Rutter. I've put you on 1,000 on a BMW. I know you loved the BMW in the past. Yeah, Michael Rutter. Oh, and that's Michael.
I've just changed the head angle.
You've adjusted that. Oh, is that McGuinness?
Am I still leading? You got it. Right.
Oh no. That actually looks a bit like Rutter on the bike.
Taz, you're racing against other manufacturer of bikes this year in Supersport. They've changed the rules. So, was that for this year? In the past, there's been other manufacturers. Last year.
Oh my god.
Not looking great for Michael so far.
No.
I know Michael's only ever had two.
The worst one here on a bike, and you put me on the fastest bike out.
It's quite interesting to watch. What's it like with? Because obviously there's all different CC bikes. You've got. I can't even remember what CC they are.
600, 765, maybe 675, 800.
Or is it 765?
It's the Triumph 765. And the Ducati, which I don't know what the Ducati
I
is.
don't think it's a 1200.
I think it's a 99. I want to say 996, but I think that was like a Ducati Superbike back in 1998 or something like that. It's 999 or an 899 or something like that. 95, yeah, maybe a 959.
He rode in 2016, just with a power tank.
No, I think it might be something similar. So, yeah, it's different manufacturers. Well, Supersport was maybe a few years ago going to be a bit of a dying class, so they changed the rules slightly to allow other manufacturers to be competitive, and then like a bit like the old Supersport rules, like I can't remember for example, Stuart Easton I think used to ride a Ducati back in the Supersport days, so they've just kind of brought it back to those rules to allow more manufacturers to come in to just make the class good again, and that's what they've done. Like past few years have been more exciting and more competitive as ever, and I think like Balega's been winning a few races, but then last round Sofoglu won on the MV. McPhee was on the podium with the Kawasaki. Chanonchu won in Indonesia on a Kawasaki. Manzi's been up there on a Yamaha, so there's been plenty of different manufacturers, or it's not just one dominating like maybe a few years ago when the R6 or the ZX6 were dominating. It's a bit different now. So
Big pass on Hickey there. Nearly worked. Hickey's not easy to pass at the best of times, especially not around the Isle of Man. So do you prefer the rules being like that, or is it weird racing in a class like that? Because normally in the past we've only ever ridden in classes where everyone's on similar bikes.
yeah, I think it's fairly even, really. Some tracks suit some manufacturers and some will suit others. I can't really comment when I'm just wobbling about at the back at the moment, but I think when you watch it back and on TV, it's definitely exciting, and that's kind of the main thing, really. No one's... Okay, Balega's won a lot of races this year, but I think he's also probably one of the best there, and second year it's all kind of clicked for him, so there's a lot going for him at the moment, which is making him making him very competitive. So Michael's having a marinade. So yeah, I don't know, because it's my first year back in Supersport. I haven't ridden Supersport since 2017, which then was kind of just R6s and ZX6s and the odd Triumph really. So there's no Swazukis in the class at that point. So yeah, I don't know any different at the moment, but it's for sure it's exciting and makes good racing. So that's what everyone wants really, isn't it? I guess.
Brad, racing in World Superbike. In fact, I'm going to ask Tarran this question first.
Right.
You rode on track last year in World Superbike at Donington Park. You did a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
When you're riding around, obviously watching Top Rack on TV, it just looks incredible. What is it like riding on track with World Superbike riders? Is it a different level, or what's it like? Did anyone stand out? Did you see anyone?
I just done a Mazzano test there, and Bautista came past me and made me look like a Trackday rider. No offence to Trackday riders, but like that was the level. But yeah, the I think when you watch on TV, like they're the best superbike riders in the world, aren't they? So I think everyone's deserves to be there, and everyone's talented and competitive. Just some make it look easier than others, maybe like the dominant three let everyone like Top Rack, Bautista and Johnny, but now there's a lot of other guys the past couple of years that are in the mix as well. So there's no one that really stands out, but I think if you're looking from the outside, maybe Top Rack that is all action, and then Bautista that makes it look easy when obviously he's dominating. So yeah, they're all talent. There's no one slow on the grid, unfortunately, as I found out last year in the wildcard, and as Brad's found out this year, that it's not as easy as it might look on TV, unfortunately.
That is the problem with fast motorbike races. They do make it look very easy.
Not like me.
No, you are not making this look easy, Brad. I'm actually quite nervous for Michael's.
I'm so zoned in on this. It's unbelievable. Like, I feel like I'm sat on the back of that bike. My eyes are going funny.
The weird thing for me is have you got on pump?
Not yet. I've got thumb pump. I'm squeezing that trigger so hard.
The thing that scares me is the crashes are so realistic. Like I feel like I'm having an actual crash.
Yeah. I think if you was a TT rider and you actually knew, like, because I don't know where the track goes, only like the first two corners, but like I can imagine it's for them. It's like proper ideal having this as
A learning
tool. Yeah, you'd know exactly. Even like trees and white lines and houses and that, it's all super realistic.
Have you? I think as well, we haven't actually explored this mode, but there's a free roam mode on this game. I'd like to think that there's side missions that you can interact with the locals with, but I don't think there is. But you can just ride around the island wherever you want to, and there's also 2-player and online modes as well. There is.
Play 2-player?
You can play 2-player, but we've got no internet connection here because I've commandeered your house and the hotspot on my phone isn't going to work.
Can you change settings? So can you go like, because at TT you can go like off enduro riding and trials riding and that. Is there any settings
Not yet. I
for
think
that?
that you never know. Never say never. I want to see like a Isleman TT GTA mode where you can like
Yeah, that would be class.
like it is actually over there. Brad, have you had any moments where you've been like, oh my god, I'm amazed at these riders, or does it just feel like any other class you've ever raced in?
Yeah, I think at the minute it's because I'm not feeling. Oh my god, sorry mate. I'm not feeling 100% comfortable. You bring me up, go on. No, I'm not feeling 100% comfortable on the bike, so I'm not riding as free as I would normally would be, or as comfortable, as confident as I would be. So everything just seems a little bit sort of rushed at the moment, like I am on this game. But no, there's obviously the top three are a step above everyone else at the minute, and it's quite there's not many people in front of me that I think are any like faster than me, or they've just had a little bit more time and more experience, and it obviously looks bad on paper at the minute with the positions and
I don't think
results.
I don't think it looks bad on paper for you, Brad.
No, it's not.
The fact you're scoring points at Barcelona, I think that was really good
Yeah.
considering you're 6 races down. Not making excuses for you, but
It's funny because you see comments on social media like, oh yeah, Brad will be on the podium this weekend. And I'm like, it's just as much as you'd love to be, it's just not realistic. And I think that's what you got to sort of take into consideration is it's going to be a learning curve from the start of it. And I think it's similar to when you first join BSB. You sort of jump your way up, and then your first aim is obviously to get some points, and then once you get points, then you start aiming for the top 10 and then top 5, and then end up on a podium, and then sort of by the end you're disappointed when you finish 4th, or you're disappointed when you get 3rd. So I'm hoping that that's going to be the end goal in World Superbikes, that we'll be going to each round and thinking, right, if I don't get top 5 I'm going to be disappointed. But I think it's just going to take time and more experience, more time on the bike. So wrong, Taylor.
It's okay.
Did I win?
yeah.
But yeah, no, nobody's. They're obviously the best riders in the world, aren't they? That's the aim.
Yeah.
But for us to make that next step in our career, you've got to be riding with the best and learning from them. The team's good. I've got real good support. So it's just going to be step by step. We make the move forward.
Well, if you think about the bigger picture, in the past there's been Camille, Johnny Ray, Tom Sykes, Haslam, all these people. I've probably missed loads of people out there. I have Neil Hodgson, Toseland,
Bayless.
Losey, Bayless. It's endless of people that have come from BSB, and you two are the next two. So it's only a matter of time before that happens. I think it's Guinness o'clock for me anyway. I know you two are athletes.
I want to go on this free road.
Yeah, I'm going to wrap the video up. There is the island. You can explore the island. Look at all the stuff you can do on there.
Peel.
You want to get back down the Douglas Prom. That's where the real action is.
Prom's down here.
Yeah. So,
what you mean?
yeah. I don't know. Have a look. Yeah, R2L2.
That sounds like Call of Duty.
R2L2, up, down. Unlimited money glitch.
You just get a helicopter.
I'm now, like, you two are interested in the riding. I'm interested in team manager games. We should get an Isle of Man team manager. Yeah.
I wonder if you can get like going.
Just waiting for the new levels to come out.
The garage and you could be a crew chief.
Yeah.
You know, in the box.
Yeah.
And that.
And not listen to the rider.
Yeah.
Just look at your laptop and ignore everything. I said that really bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, on that note, thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I wish these two the best of luck in their World Superbike careers. Thank you for your help.
Cheers.
I'll buy you dinner. Cheers.
Taylor.